So you gotta feel kind of bad for Roland Emmerich. I mean, not too bad because he's really rich. He has a really cool job, but I guess you have to feel kind of bad because, I mean, he's made his whole career making movies where he blows up part of the earth. And I guess he got bored and said, how can I top myself? How do I top Independence Day? And how do I top Godzilla? And how do I top The Day After Tomorrow? Why don't I just make a movie where I kill everybody on Earth? I'm Mike, and this is an episode of Watch This Instead for the week ending Friday the 13th of November, 2009. Roland Emmerich has made 2012, which, if you've been asleep and maybe missed all of the advertising, is a movie about the end of the world. It takes place in 2012 and is based on the idea that the Mayans, when they were making their cool calendar, predicted the actual end of the world, which is going to happen in the winter solstice in the year 2012. And in the film, in Roland Emmerich's film, this happens because the sun barfs out some plasma and neutrinos mutate into some other kind of trino, neutrino I guess, and they boil the center of the Earth. John Cusack is in it, and he's a limo driver, and he has to escape the destruction of Los Angeles and Las Vegas in a plane that he rented. In the middle of this movie, there's just this great big moral lack. It's a horrifying vacuum where any kind of commentary on the end of the world, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, whether we deserve it, why it's happening, would normally be, except in Emmerich's film, it's not really there. None of the relationships in this film make any sense whatsoever. I mean, the film's got all of Emmerich's classic idiocy. There's a giant cliff in the Himalaya Mountains that a plane falls down, and it takes 2 minutes to fall down this cliff, and it bounces and explodes, and it goes boom, and there's literally thousands of feet. And John Cusack and his family are at the top of this cliff looking down, going, oh no. And then it cuts to literally hard cut to them at the bottom of the cliff. One of the characters wearing shorts. She's a girl, she's not cold, and she just climbed down a sheer 5,000-foot cliff at night in the Himalaya Mountains in shorts. And then they get picked up by a monk in a truck. It's idiotic. And there's an argument to be made, there's an argument that people could make and are making, that films like this, their audiences don't ask of them anything more complex than a series of disasters and explosions. That people like to watch shit blow up, so they're going to be happy with a movie that shows a bunch of shit blowing up really well, and okay, fair enough. But that being said, all of the other stuff in and around it, the human relationships that Emmerich has decided to make part of the film, are done really, really poorly. And they're played at. So even if you like disaster movies, I don't think that you're going to like this movie, because I don't think that you're an idiot. You're going to say, wow, the disaster part of this movie is really cool, but all the human parts of this movie, and the parts that are supposed to make logical sense, like how did this person climb a 5,000-foot cliff, you're going to start laughing because it doesn't make any sense and it's ridiculous. And they're assuming that you're an idiot, and that you won't notice these things, and then you'll just go. So you know what we should watch instead, together? We should watch Deep Impact. It's the one of the two, the other being Armageddon, that came out right at the same time during that weird period where filmmakers were making movies in pairs. There was Dante's Peak, and what was the other one, Ryan? Volcano. People remember Armageddon because that was the one that was really, really, really stupid. But Deep Impact is actually a pretty good movie, and it's the forgotten one of the two, and it actually does the human part of it, the relationship, people like actually behaving like humans might in the face of great upcoming cataclysm, really well. And it has good effects, and it's a cool Armageddon movie. So you should watch that instead. Or if you want to see a movie where Roland Emmerich didn't have to really work with humans anyway, so he just got to do whatever he wanted with the effects and the action, rent Universal Soldier with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. It's sadly probably his best movie. Or John Cusack. Everybody loves John Cusack. Rocky patch lately. He made a movie called 1408 with Sam Jackson, directed by a guy named Michael Hafstrom. That came out a little while ago that not too many people saw, and it disappeared from theaters pretty quickly, and that is a shame because it was actually pretty good. It was scary and kind of weird. A bad trailer, which is why I think people probably didn't go see it. But it's based on a Stephen King short story, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of over the top, but it's really entertaining. So that might be worth watching instead of 2012, which you shouldn't watch. All those movies you can get from zip.ca if you're in Canada. You can click one of our banner ads and get your little free trial going, and it rules because if you do that, then we get money.